next presenter up. I forgot to say, I mean, there are questions, so if you've got any questions for any of the vendors, please either shout now, while Gareth gets himself ready. Otherwise, I'm going to hand you over to Gareth.
I'm going to try and work out how to use this thing.
Push them.
Oh, that's not good.
No, that's okay.
Are you clicking it?
No, I won't use this one.
Okay.
It's going to be a fairly whistle stop call
No, that's
anyway,
cool,
so
yeah.
I've been told time. I'm Gareth. You might hear of me being referred to as Gareth because I've been called that in. I've worked with Michael for a very, very, very long time. I basically come from an engineering background, so I still kind of have a bit of a sort of side of me that works in that part of the business. But I'm kind of heading up the pre-sales side with the products that we put out there. Not maybe all of them yet for myself, but kind of a lot of the UC. So predominantly the 8x8 I work on really heavily. CC for all, which is what we'll sort of do a quick run through now. There's another one, Nuvola, and I will be also looking at the ribbon. So basically what I wanted to sort of kind of get across today is what we can help you with. So where we can help you, if you take on one of our products, it's new to you, obviously we can help you through all the sales and so forth, but also we can do demos for your customers. And we can be really reactive with that as well. So, you know, if I mean, it has been known for some of our resellers to come and say, well, can you do a demo this afternoon, please? And, you know, we try and move heaven and earth to do that for you and quite often do it as well. So that's kind of it. We can help with that. So what I really want to do is just show you a quick, and just sort of go around this side. Hopefully that everyone can see this, because otherwise I'm going to be sort of doing this backwards. But mainly today, because obviously today is about Teams, it was kind of showing you what we can do, what I have set up basically in our Teams environment. So we're using our own Teams environment to do all this. So we're adding the applications, we're adding the services into our Teams environment, which is enabling myself and then other people eventually as well to be able to run demos for you, be able to just, they could maybe rock up at your office and log on and so forth, and they will have these things on their sidebar here. And so I've got CC for Teams in here, I've got like 8x8, I've got Luware, I've got things that as well. Am I allowed to say that?
You say whatever you like.
So I've got these are the primarily at the moment I've got set up basically, so I can push it. I actually look after our Teams environment as well. So like I said, I have many hats. This here, for instance, is Teams, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to just let that kind of like run through as I'm talking about it. So CC for all, or CC for Teams, is a native Teams contact center. It's built around the Graph API. Sits in the things. They've actually made it. I'll just let that run through. They've basically made it look very much like Teams itself. So the user interface for anyone that's been using Teams is very, very familiar. Even to the point where the dialer's in the same place. So if you've got your Teams dialer, this is in the same place. Got some icons up here. So at the moment I've got mine set up for voice. It can be used for chat, and the socials coming. So you'll basically start to see in here other icons appearing, whether you've got it set up for WhatsApp, where you've got X as it is now, and so forth will appear, and email and so forth up here. I can log in and log out of my queues. So as an agent, so they're giving you the ability to log in and log out of your separate queues. If we move across here, the tabs that I've got going across here, I've got an agent tab. So with the agent tab, basically, I'm seeing what active media, so I can see calls that are queuing in here as an agent. I will see the detail of the calls that are queuing here for the agent. I'm basically, if I had a call in here, I may even be able to pick up that call as an agent. So I might be in a non-available state. I might be at code, might be at lunch or something like that, but I can see that there's actually quite a lot of calls queuing, and I could actually just pick those calls up out there. Obviously I could go available as well. When I'm dialing out, I can select the queues. So if I'm dialing out from a particular product, so I'm looking after a particular product, I'm going to dial out that queue. I select the number that goes out, so when those people call, if they miss a call or something, they can come back in. They ring back in on exactly the same queue that I basically called them out from on outbound calling. So when you're dialing out there, I'm just trying to sort of bring this. How can I forward? There you go. See if this works. Just trying to move this on a little bit. Little bell icon over here. So I've got voicemail. So if you've allowed the calls to go through to voicemail, it's very easy for the agents then to be able to pick up that voicemail. So all the agents in those queues basically be able to see the voicemail, come and pick that voicemail up and react to that as well. Yeah. They love technology. There we go. Actually, these boards are really good. Here you go. Here's an example of a call coming in, for instance. So you can see the actual call, the number, the timer, how long it's actually been queued for, basically, that it's in the demo queue, and it's assigned to my agent. The call control is all done within here as well. So although the call comes through natively into Teams, so when it rings, it will come up with the normal Teams call, gets minimised, and then all your call control is actually being done through here. Tells you you're in a call. Other people will see you're dealing with those calls as well when they're monitoring. I can transfer, so you can transfer out, you can do the normal cold, light and warm transfers. Transfer to other queues, it gives you a very easy ability to be able to just transfer that to another queue, which is actually really useful for contact centre staff. When I hang the call up, which I'm going to do about now, there you go, I get a wrap up here, so I can put my wrap codes in, so it's got all the disposition codes that you would expect to have in a contact centre, and that goes in and so forth. Hopefully, if I just touch the screen, I'm going to be able to bring you over to the, so on the supervisor tab here, I can basically, because I'm a supervisor, I can see all the other members of the actual queues. I can actually configure things in as well, here as well. So for instance, I can configure they call it desire. We play it like skills-based routing effectively. So I can set the desire of them to take the call for that particular queue. And I can do that on the fly within this as well. So if I've got a member of staff and actually I don't really want you to be taking too many calls out of that queue, I'd rather you be concentrating on another one, but I still need you to take calls if they're coming in really heavy demand, I can just drop them down a couple of pegs if I need to. I can do that on the fly as well. I can join them into those queues as well from here as a supervisor. So again, I've got a queue monitoring, it's a busy period. I can just bring those agents into those queues as we go along on there. So we've got a supervisor tab. There's a call history there, so you'll see all the call history of the calls that you've taken. And then we've got a couple of other tabs up here. We'll notice some of this is Nuvola. If I clicked on that, effectively, that will take me through to maybe a Nuvola website. It could be that it actually takes you to your CRM application, and obviously there are things in the background that we can do for things like popping and so forth, and data transfer between the systems. I've got one up here, as call cabinet, for instance, because again, call cabinet is what is used within CC4. It's like integrated so that all the call recording. What did I do there?
There you go.
Oh wow! And now it's gone full screen. Where am I? There we go. I think it was around about there. So yeah. So as I was saying, the call cabinet. So that brings you up into being able to effectively getting access to your call recordings and so forth. But you can do it within here as well. So you're not actually leaving the Teams environment at that point to do that. It embeds it into there. So that's really what I wanted to kind of like show you on the. This was always going to be. We would normally have done this live, but we were told the network's not particularly great.
You probably know
so,
the internet's not great.
Yeah, so hence
Very secure.
it is very secure. So I just wanted to bring you across to one of the other ones that I can show you very quickly on here is Luwe's Nimbus. So again, it's similar to CC for Teams, but this, like for instance, what I've got set up here is more of an attendant. So this is you're bringing your voice into. So let me just sort of pause that for a sec if I can. So, for instance, you bring in the whole point of this. You bring in your voice into Teams. So you obviously there's multiple ways you can do that. Gamma, Eve, we've got the SVCs from Ribbon and so forth. So you can get all these different ways of getting it. And basically, what we do on here is that effectively the call is coming through to a resource account within Teams, and that resource account then goes to an application. And this is the application that it's going to. So, and within that application, then we can assign those into different queues, into attendance. So this could be, just basically a receptionist console, for instance. So this is to do the things that you want to do with calls that Teams doesn't do natively. So the more complex routing that you might want to do. So for instance, when I was showing CC4, that's very much contact center. That's being able to get calls to the right people, the right skilled people. This could be just dealing with, a lot of calls, for instance, within Nimbus. You might be that kind of receptionist type person. They do sort of go into the contact center as well. Difference being that the CC4 does much more on the omni-channel. What this does give you is nice, pretty graphics. So Nimbus gives you some nice visuals of your queues. You can see what's going on live. You can see what's going on, some historical data on there, for instance. How many interactions you've had on a day, how many declined, how many calls you've missed. If you've got live calls in there, it will show you live calls. We'll just not do that. That's good. Just bring it across a little bit as we scan through. So, for instance, this is your history for the day. So this is what my contacts have been, how many calls I've accepted, what my connection time has been for the day, the actual list of the calls themselves. And as I'm going to go through, I'll show you a couple more things in here. If we go through, so we've got the attendant. So here's the actual attendant. Now I see list of the actual people that are in my attendance. So this could be multiple people taken. So you think of it as like a little bit like a hunt group in a way. So you're getting to the calls, so you get lots of people in there, but you can log in and log out. So you can make yourself active, you can make yourself, in fact you can take the whole thing to an inactive state. So for instance, if I made the actual attendant inactive, then there'll be things in the background that allow that call routing to go somewhere else. So it might go to another attendant, it might be going to voicemail and so forth, and you can do that on the fly. So if you needed to make a emergency situation, for instance, calls need to go somewhere on that state, you can just very easy and quickly make this inactive. You can do it from your mobile phone, to be fair, with the app on the mobile. So you can do it when you're out of the building and so forth, when it's burning. And then we just bring you a call to the actual attendant console itself. So this is when you're actually dealing with calls live, where you can take the calls, park the calls, and the whole point is being able to stack those calls as well. So more of a sort of traditional receptionist type feature at that point within here. Walk it through again. So I'm conscious of time as well. Nimbus as well also enables you to be able to do a lot of your config within here. As if you're a supervisor administrator, so you've got the ability to do that. You can actually go in and change. I'll just bring it to the bit where you can, so for instance here, I can actually see my call routing. So I can change my call routing in there as well. So I can change the way my calls are coming in, I can change the announcements, I can add announcements, I can do text-to-speech announcements in there and so forth, and I can do that on the fly as well, and within the actual thing. But you notice I've not left Teams. So again, at this one, everything is still being done within Teams environment. I'm not having to go through to other websites and so forth to do that configuration. Just one thing, I just want to add this on the end as well, because obviously I do a lot with 8x8, I do a lot of demos on 8x8, a lot of work on the 8x8 system. So I just wanted to show you that, here for instance, I've actually got myself set up with direct routing, effectively with direct routing as a service within 8x8. So I've got the app built into Teams. I can turn this on and off as well. So when I'm doing demos on the 8x8, if a customer specifically wants an 8x8 or looking at an 8x8 solution, but they're looking at that 8x8 solution that is going to be working in with Teams, for instance, I can actually just turn that on, do the Teams side of it with all the rest of the back end side of the 8x8, all the really great stuff with the analytics and so forth that you basically you measure on when you're demoing 8x8 systems. but I can show them the Teams. Now this is the one version. This is not the phone app that I think we saw on the slides earlier. I'll be able to do that for you as well. So I can basically do both on the on any 8x8 demo, and obviously then go on to contact centres and all the other bits and pieces that the VCC that we do on Teams as well. So really and truly, my piece was sort of to make it aware to you that we can offer you this service, we can offer you the demos. They're usually a bit more slick than trying to do a video one because I do it live, which is much better, and a bit more interactive as well. But saying that, effectively saying that, we've got this environment, we're growing what we can show, and we're happy to do demo. If you're taking on a new, say you weren't a CC for All partner, you wanted to see it, you want to show your team it, I can do those demos. You want us to go to a customer and do that demo for your customer on your behalf with you, we can do that as well. That's effectively really what I kind of wanted to get across today, and it's all within our own Teams environment. I think I did all right.
Did good.
Time-wise,
Any questions?
Yeah, just quickly, you talked
Yeah.
about social media.
Yes.
That's coming. I don't know if everyone's aware at the moment that as far as X is concerned,
Yes.
yeah, if you want to spend 25 grand a month.
X is they
Well, it's
Well,
risky, isn't it?
he's-
What he's done, he's gone mad.
he's gone slightly, but yeah, I mean, but yeah,
Wasn't it always mad? You just straight into the world.
yeah,
Yeah,
quite
but
possibly,
if
yeah.
you want to integrate any contact centre now, it's
Yeah.
25 grand a month.
Yeah, they've actually taken away the.
You get the money back somewhere.
No, they just turned it off. They turned it off. He literally did it overnight.
Just a road trip.
Yeah. It is. Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much.
Right, we are getting to the best bit now. This is the best bit. Just quickly. So just to be clear, so Gareth, that was really just to show. It was also a bit of a visual thing to see. Well, that's how Teams work. It is quite straightforward. All these products are truly integrated